Alright, so, blue-white skies here. So skies refers to just a bunch of different creatures that have flying in our deck. And then we have a couple of payoffs here for our creatures having flying. The first and most direct is we have 4 copies of Favorable Winds here to be a 2-mana. All our creatures get +1/+1 while this is in play. The second is that Curious Obsession. Curious Obsession is basically a payoff for flying creatures because their evasion lets us draw cards similar to the mono blue deck. Then we've got a couple copies of Rally of Wings here. Untap all creatures you control. Creatures with flying get +2/+2. So one thing that I wouldn't be surprised if we change a little bit of, this might be slightly too many payoffs with not enough action. It might be that I just want more threats over some of these, like maybe only play 2 of this card, or maybe play some Spell Pierces in the main as a little bit of disruption. So let's dive into some matches here and see how this goes. Great, I reinstalled. Did the deck command update. Looks like it did. Deckmaster appears to be working. It's alive. Sure. Oh. No 1-drop here. Yeah, Tomik's static ability prevents your opponent's systems from working, which is kind of interesting. Lightning Strike. I wonder if I'm supposed to lead on this so that way Favorable Winds could pump it up. I'll play another Cleric here. Resplendent Angel uses my mana more efficiently, but I'd much rather wait to play this card once I have the Favorable Winds out so it doesn't die to Lightning Strike. So next turn we'll go Winds plus Tomik, however we pronounce this Dorko. Oh, look at that. Augur of Bolas being a 1/3 for 2. Who could have foreseen this outcome? Playing Arena is just so fast after playing Magic Online. After playing Paper too. I think on Sunday's tournament, I spent more time resolving mulligans than I spent actually playing Magic. It was pretty rough. Citadel ended up 2 and 3. Well, I mean, the London Mulligan will help in the terms of number of keepable hands you get. This attack gained me a life. But like the London Mulligan is actually gonna make resolving mulligans, especially in Paper, take longer, right? Like, mulligans in general are going to take longer because people are going to have to think more during them. Brutal. At least I have my 3rd Resplendent here. And they're getting pretty low at this point too, which is nice. Definitely playing this out because if we draw a 6th land, we can activate this next turn. Well, 6 untapped land. There's 1 Guildgate in the mana base. Yep. To me, rally the wings. Scoreboard. They're probably a Drake's deck, right? Which actually means Baffling End's incredibly awkward. It's possible these Baffling Ends should be split with Conclave Tribunal, specifically for this matchup, or perhaps Prison Realm. Something that lets me exile their stuff. I'm gonna try Remorseful Cleric, just because I guess this exiles Phoenix. I probably am not going to have a good time protecting Dovin. I definitely want these Sky Tethers. Right, let's run it like this. Oh, I gotta reset my avatar. Did I miss Gibby? I feel like I might have missed Gibby while we were changing decks. If I did, I'm sorry, Gibby. Thanks for the prime. I feel like Sodden was the last one I saw. I'm gonna bottom that. I already have one. I'm looking for, like, more threats and mana to cast this threat. Seal Away. I think Seal Away is not nearly as good in this deck, Burper, because Seal Away is more of a defensive card since it requires the creature to be tapped. So when I'm playing a deck with an aggressive slant like this, I'd rather have more proactive removal that's able to exile things that would be trying to block my stuff. So, like, Seal Away is better in, like, mid-range or control decks. That's kind of unfortunate. Kefnet. Yep. Yeah, Beacon Bolt also counts through exile. So they must have a red source in their hand. Oh, they can kick it. Yeah. Yep. I guess not being kicked, this doesn't kill these, which is nice since I have the favorable winds. Did they keep a non-land here? They topped with the opt. Huh, they kept a non-land. Interesting. You have lava coiled by Burb. That's deal. Yep. That's, that'll do. Ooh, that's a good one too. Let's strap this bad Mamma Jamma up here and draw a card. So you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Do 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 do. All right. So do I play the Warkite Marauder or do I hold up Rally of Wings? I think I want to hold up Rally of... I think I want to play this so I can attack into this still. Hey, thanks for the 14 months, Raddy. I appreciate that. Welcome back. That land lets them kick the, this one here. I guess they can Bacon Bolt. Oh, they can do that and then Bacon Bolt this, right? Because they have 3 plus a 4th in exile. Yeah, pretty dead here. Let's roll on to the next one. Do I want Time Raveler? Time Raveler tempos their Kefnet, and he turns off their finale, which is nice. And tempoing Kefnet, especially on the play, seems very reasonable. Let's do it. Sure. Yep, the squawk. Caw, caw, caw. This is my burb. Get him. The old 4-point swing on turn 2. Busted. Speaking of birds, they discarded a pigeon there. I think I'm just playing this and plussing him.
I am not. No, I am not making this up as I go.
Okay. This is pretty likely to come back next turn, which sucks for us. Unfortunately, we just don't really have any spells here. I think especially with the Sky Tether here, I'm just going to go ahead and cash this in to try and draw a second threat for the turn. Let's try and get a reasonable amount of pressure into place so we can run them down before too much gets going for them. This does mean if they like stick Kefnet this turn, I don't have a way to tempo it back to their hand, but I think getting a second body into play here is more important than being able to Teferi down tick. Don't discard a second Phoenix. Don't discard. Yikes. Alright, so if they have 2 1-mana spells here, we're probably dead. Like Opt plus Shock. Just a Lava Coil, sure. I have no idea, Black Sheep.
I've got it.
It's different. It's just different every season. Like, what's good one season is not good the next. Like, at this point, like, in previous seasons, I would assume you'd have to be, like, top 50 to even think about being able to sit at this point in the season. Well, Tether doesn't remove the ability from Kefnet to cast extra spells. So, Kefnet will still sit and gain value in that case. This is a good draw. Deals with both the Phoenixes. The fact that they bend the second one aggressively is really good for us here. It means even though they were flooding, they don't really have threats at the moment, which is great. So, like, do they spend another card on this? So, like, yeah, they did that. It's like, all right, exile your bin. Like, there go your Phoenixes. I mean, the Phoenix deck didn't really get that many things this set. It was like Finale and Kefnet, right? It got 2 cards. Caca! Yeah, Healy's okay.
This is hardly my worst defeat.
Was that the best draw on our deck? Feels like it was up there for best draw on our deck. Yeah, I'm not arguing the fact that it got upgrades. I'm just saying that disputing the it got a lot of upgrades comment, because, like, a lot in my mind generally refers to more than 2. I wouldn't quantify 2 as a lot by most metrics of a lot. And Pack, thank you for the 5-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. So I assume they have another burn spell here. They looked at their graveyard. I wonder if they have a finale. Yeah, they're using finale just to kill this. I think that's a good play on their part, because that thing sitting there drawing 2 cards a turn is going to bury them very quickly. Really want to draw, like, a Resplendent Angel here. It's just our best draw when we have this much mana. Sure, I would agree with the definition of high impact, but again, words have meaning, so, like, high impact is different than a lot. You have lava coiled my healer's hawk. The fact that they burned that lava coil so aggressively there makes me think they probably have another one, or at least some other piece of removal. Let's tie that drink to the ground, shall we? Flooding a little bit here. The real question is, like, how many lands are they sitting on versus removal spells? That kind of dictates, like, how good our threats will be when we draw them. Looking at their bin, did we find another finale? We did. That's very good. Kills my threat. No bird yet. It's a small upside for us. If they hit another Crackling Drake, we have another Sky Tether. By a lot, I'm thinking total copies added to the decks of those 2 to 4 cards. Even that's not true though, Dallas. I feel like you're trying to, like, sidestep your justification based on being, like, called out on using the wrong word, which there's no need to. Like, if you look at these Phoenix decks, like, they're not even playing 4 Kefnits or 4 finales. It's okay. Listen, I know it's 2019 and everybody has to double down on bad takes, but, like, it's okay to just say, no, yeah, you're right, I was wrong. They're not playing a lot by any definition of the word. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay to be like, nah, I messed up. I do it. I mess up all the time. Just ask my wife. Thanks for the 9 months, Sauzi. I appreciate that. Banana Gun coming in hot for the 3rd month. I appreciate the quarter of a year. Welcome back. I mean, like, to a degree, Ekian, but, like, we definitely live in a society where that's not commonly accepted. I'm gonna play Favorable Winds on 2. Against turn 1 Watery Grave, I feel like I want all my threats to be better. Like, don't want to get this Thought Erasure. Some of the lists are playing for Finale. Okay. Do we consider 6 a lot? Let's talk about the definition then. Is 6 of something quantified as a lot? Is that the definition we're gonna go with? 6 cards is a lot? 6 out of 75? Definitely want to kill this, right? Because I don't want to give them more looks at Kaya's Wrath. And, oh, I actually can't. My mana's awkward here, and I can't play out both my threats. That's a touch mediocre. That's fair, Dallas. Yeah, without even with emoticons, tone could definitely be tough to send over. Someone asked, is this deck not just bad mono white? Yes. To answer your question, yes. This deck is very similar to mono white aggro while having less efficient threats overall. It's got some cheeky things for having access to some blue cards, but for the most part, a lot of what this deck is doing is just worse than mono white. The mono white deck doesn't need evasion if its creatures are huge, which often they are. So I think I want to cut the rally and the favorable wins in this matchup and just bring in cards that 1-for-1 my opponent a little bit better. Because, like, my opponent's definitely going to have more sweepers post-board, and I'd prefer to, like, have all of my average card be more individually powerful. Being able to spell pierce their like 4-mana play sounds really good. It's like mono blue and mono white had a baby, and it's got ugly downsides of both decks. I mean, it's got some of the upsides of these decks too. Like, Curious Obsessions is pretty good, but this deck does have less ways to protect it. 37 months did go by quick for the deck this month. I just have Dealer's Choice, maybe for after the core set drops. Definitely punt count. I appreciate the 37 months. Welcome back. That's a long time. Yeah, I'm definitely holding all of my Dealer's Choice points until the next set drops. I don't know. I don't think wins is completely irrelevant, but I don't think I ever want to draw 2. And, like, my opponent's deck has 3-mana Teferi's in it almost certainly, which makes too much counter magic awkward. I think I'm going to go ahead and plus here because it plays around a sweeper a little bit better. The fact that they just spent a 1-for-1 piece of spot removal there is actually pretty good for me, because it implies they don't have a sweeper in their hand. Now, if they go land, kill my Dovin, I'll be pretty sad.
Don't worry, I got
I hope you don't mind if I enjoy this.
Alright. All in. Your move, Yugi boy.
I've got time. I'm known for my excellent time is much more malleable than people think. Really should have seen that coming.
Focus and meditate and prepare.
Hey, Sizzle, good to see ya. I am still using the Lisa mattress. Foam mattresses are great. Every time we have to travel and I have to use a non-foam mattress, it's like, this is a terrible mistake. Doing that in purple at the moment. I'm not sure about purple, but I know with the Lisa, they give you like a 90-day money-back guarantee. So whatever mattress you end up getting, most of the big ones have some kind of thing like that. Just make sure you have it, so that way if you don't like it, you can send it back.
Let's add this battle to your record of...
Hey, gosh damn. Thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I think I'm gonna plus here, so that way they can't Teferi pick up Othakaya, kill my Dovin. This also puts him to 7 for next turn, right? Avocado and purple. What fancy names for mattresses? Let's name them after just random things. So, I think I want to do this, right?
You are no match for my foresight.
Only time will tell.
Gonna go ahead and draw a card with this right away.
Timing. This might be a bad idea. Trust me, I have a plan. I'll protect you.
Hey, awesome, Furky. Glad to hear it. Not bouncing either of their things. Let's just draw a card, so I'm not going to be able to protect Teferi from this Belhaunt. Yep. Probably dead here.
Own your prowess.
Yeah, turns out when your deck has kind of low quality cards in it overall, Dovin's ult isn't able to quite pull you through, right? Like we got a Spell Pierce, ended up not doing a whole lot. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go roll the next game 3 here. Gonna bring some Vetos in for the third one. "26 creatures. I probably don't want to cut another creature. What's going on, Prince Day? Welcome to a live one. So, a card like Favorable Winds is only a payoff if you have other things in play. So in a matchup like this where your opponent has a lot of one-for-one interaction and potentially sweepers, generally you want your cards to be individually powerful. To a degree, he says he plays a 1/1/4. You want your card to do something on their own as opposed to being purely synergistic when you're getting picked apart. You don't take deck submissions for new standard until after the full spoilers out. That is correct. I will take build-around submissions because I don't actually build them until we have a full spoiler. But I won't take specific viewer-submitted deck lists until we have a full spoiler out. And as always, viewer-submitted. Viewer-submitted build-arounds are 25 for standard, and specific deck lists are 10 for subscribers.
I'll protect you.
There might be merit to just going 2-drop, 2-drop this turn. They have a Bell Haunt. I don't really have a good way to defend my planeswalkers here. Although, I guess I can plus Dovin and then he's not dead. Nah, I'm just gonna down tick him one more time here, I think. I can chump block with a Thopter. And if they want to sweep the board, it kills their Bellhaunt too. Morning, Ghosty. So, do we have Wrath? And we're not sure if we want to use it. We have a Vraska's Contempt, maybe. We have 3 mana Teferi in play, so any type of game action they want to take here, they need to do now on their turn. Kaya's Wrath actually gained life. That card's not supposed to have that much text. So, I was going to downtick this just to draw a card if I missed, but because I drew another threat here, I think just deploying 2 things this turn is fine. So if I hadn't drawn Siren Stormtamer, I'd have cashed this in, but because I drew this, I think I can go ahead and tick this up and keep it around. It's pretty important that I deploy 2 things this turn, so that way if they have 5 mana Teferi. Alright, and they just spent a second Kaya's Wrath here, so I think I just go boom, boom, boom. So here's my 3 things. Good luck, Godspeed. Don't do it to me again. Have a heart. Don't sweep them into the trash bin. They're just good, honest flying creatures trying to make it in this cold, hard world.
Stand by and watch.
I'm actually gonna cash this in here because it 1-for-1s my opponent, and I think my opponent's average card they're going to draw here is better than my Siren Stormtamer. So I'm basically trading it for a card off the top of their deck, which I think is fine.
That's more like it.
This is no mere trinket.
It's unfortunate that Dovin's plus doesn't trigger when you hit Planeswalkers. Curious Obsession either, so we're just going to sit on that for a hot moment here. Could get punished by a Thought Erasure. We're just dead to that one, huh? I think we're mostly dead to that one. I guess Teferi gets to bounce it next turn, and like maybe there's a shot. I didn't bring in removal for it though. Yeah, this isn't fair. They're not the Flyers deck. Why are their Flyers so much better than ours? Yep.
This isn't a fight you can win.
You're probably not wrong there, Teferi. There are not Sky Tethers in my deck currently. And this is my second Time Raveler.
You need to slow down.
I constantly seek to innovate.
Have a good one, Troll.
We will meet again.
I guess with the curious obsession, we're actually kind of okay here, right? Because like the curious obsession means I get back to this turn. If this is a brick, we're actually gonna be able to like dig a little bit deeper here, and then maybe this can pull us through. All right, that's probably all she wrote.
Right on schedule. Here we go.
I can benefit from another's success.
Without 2 cards a turn, I don't think we ever overpower the Lyra.
I stand on the shoulders of giants.
Here goes nothing.
Yep. All right, let's try one more here. Give it third time's the charm, right? Yeah, Lyra is the queen of the sky for sure. Without a way to interact with her, she's just gonna dominate your board. Alright, whew! Whew! Alright, Tomik, I thought you were gonna be embarrassing there for a second. I thought you were gonna be embarrassing there for a second. I mean, Niv loses to Lyra in a head-to-head. No, Niv's a 5/5. Matches 1 and 5 are good, Marty. Match 2 is probably okay as well. 3 and 4 were definitely not particularly compelling TV.
I practice against keep an open mind. Such violence is upsetting.
Even if the obsession creature hit them, we wouldn't draw a card because they have Narset in play. Why didn't you use the pump to get rid of Narset while drawing? Because that's not, I guess that would have worked, huh? Yeah, I guess you're right, that would have worked. Because I wanted to save, the reason why I didn't do that is because I wanted to save Rally the Wings in case my opponent had a cry. Was my thought process. Alright, get on board. Don't ritualist at me. Don't do it. Have a heart. Don't do it.
I fight with a dragon's rage. Magnificent!
That was a little rough. I think I'm just gonna bring in these to slow their interaction down to their turn and like pump some of their blockers out of the way. I don't think I can reasonably bring in Spell Pierce and Veto against a deck with like 4-mana Nicol Bolas that is blocking me. And gets too many reactive cards that just might not line up well into what they have going on. Yeah, Sarkin, for people that are wondering why I conceded there, Sarkin's static ability was going to kill my 2/2 toughness creatures when they attacked, because my opponent had 2 dragons. This is my burb. Maybe it's right. Maybe it was right there to play favorable wins on 2. This gets my stuff out of cry range, which is nice. Hey, Holcomb. Thank you for the Twitch Prime. I appreciate that. Hope life's treating you well. Kiora, sure.
Leave my squids alone.
Leave my squids
Let's
alone.
get moving. Hey!
Yeah, I'm just gonna put them to 4 here.
I ebb and flow with battle. One drop, ripple
Alright,
and grow.
opponent digging for a ritual here.
Oh, I'm salty.
I'm salty. We're getting unsummoned back. That unsummon. Is that that's a card Mono Blue really wants, huh? That card's gonna be messed up in Mono Blue. That card's gonna be like really good in Mono Blue. Actual factual unsummon. Hey, at least it's not Vapor Snag, right? Too many planeswalkers around makes unsummon a bit situational. Completely and totally disagree with your sentiment. So the reason why unsummon is such a powerful tempo card is not only does it get your opponent's creatures out of the way if they're playing them, but if your opponent isn't playing creatures, there's a high probability chance that your opponent is then playing... If your opponent's not playing creatures, there's a high probability chance your opponent's playing a lot of creature removal. And in a tempo deck, unsummon picks your own creature back up in response to removal. That's why unsummon is good. Unsummon's good is because it's a protection, tempo your thing split card. Must be digging for lands here, huh? To ditch a Nicol Bolas. Ooh, maybe they're missing a color. They might be missing a color. Blossoming Defense is such a tough card to play against. It gives green decks a ton of play against the interactive decks, though. Pick your stuff up.
Let's try this.
Aha! Is this lethal? 7, and this is +4, that's 11. It's almost lethal. I'm gonna go ahead and play Healer Hawk out here. Feel a little bit bad if they play a sweeper, but this protects Teferi from the Soul Diviner as well, which is nice. Needs to be exactly Ritual Assault, and Ritual Assault kills this too. Look at that. Look at that on the scoreboard. Alright, you want a game, Blue-White Flyers. That means you get one more shot here. This is a good deck for completing our quests today. Got a ton of gold. Up to 51,000 gold to buy packs from the new set. Gave WotC their $50 for the pre-order pack, so we'll have 100 packs from just those two things. Grixis is Jank's best friend. Yep. Grixis keeps the Jank dreams alive. It's like, let me limp along to victory, Grixis deck. I promise I'll be quick. 3 Omega, thank you for the re-up in your Twitch Prime this way. Welcome back. Hope you're having a good start to your week. Yeah, I haven't been playing much off stream, Marty. So the days where I'm not streaming, my quests just don't get done. I don't like log in and do my 15 wins a day or whatever. Alright, this protects him from shock at least, which is nice. Does still get lava coiled and lightning striked though, which is unfortunate. How was my weekend? My weekend was fun. The event didn't go too spectacularly, but it was at a water park hotel, so that was fun. The kids enjoyed it a lot. He's dead, Jim. You've killed him. The Freak! Thanks for cashing that Twitch Prime for the 7th month. Welcome back.
They're statistically likely to fail. These results are an anomaly.
These results are an anomaly. Oh, Dovin. Oh, Dovin. Warkite Marauder means I can attack into the Crackling Drake. However, it does not mean that I'm going to necessarily win the race, right? Because this thing's got a lot of attack. Sphinx of Foresight. Yeah, I could see that. We've played Sphinx in similar decks before. That's always been very reasonable. That's one of those cards where every time I play it, I'm like, oh, that seems like really good. Hey, Captain Markov. Thanks for the half a year. I appreciate that. Maybe I don't want that, actually. I have a hard-ish time defending him, so maybe I cut this one. This seems good. Just bringing some Sky Tethers as removal. Lands is a lot. This is missing a color, but it's better than the other one. I think. Find a blue. We get to strap this up and go to town, hopefully. Although, one of the things this deck doesn't do as well as, like, mono blue, for instance, is that we don't have that many protection spells. It's like we kind of have a hard time protecting whatever we put the Curious Obsession on. So, like, getting those, like, free mono blue wins where you ride this to victory happens pretty infrequently with this archetype, it feels like. Maybe I'm supposed to rally to save there. Selfless Spirit would be absurd, for sure. No, I have no creatures and no blue mana. Alright, we solved one of the two problems. We've addressed half of the issues with the hand. It's fine, let's find the other half, shall we? So how was the Naya Feather deck, Jeff? So one of the things that I would encourage you to break yourself of when you're learning to evaluate decks in competitive Magic is my opinion on the deck's not really going to change after a weekend tournament that I've prepared for, right? Like, I think the Feather deck is good. That's the reason why I played it. I didn't play it at the tournament hoping to find out that it was good or bad. So, like, if you're finding out your deck is good or bad at the tournament you're playing it in, that probably means you should have skipped the tournament or made more time to practice for it. My only regret from playing the Naya Feather deck was that win or lose, basically all of my matches were done with 30 plus minutes on the clock. So I basically sat there with endless waiting over the weekend. Yeah, we're pretty dead here. You know, I don't really know that there's a whole lot more that you could do with this deck. I think Sphinx of Foresight is an okay suggestion. I think overall so one of the things you have to ask yourself when you're building synergy decks in Magic is the payoff you're getting proportionally good for how low quality the cards are in the deck that you're playing? And in this case, I really just don't feel like the payoff is proportional to the cards that we're playing. Like, registering Healer's Hawk and Rustwing Falcon, like, the power level of these cards with something like Favorable Winds and Rally the Wings just, like, isn't enough to make up for the fact that I've, like, registered a 1-2 for 1 and a 1-1 for 1. These just, like, aren't really constructed playable cards, and the synergy payoff I'm getting when everything goes right doesn't balance out how weak they are on average in the average draw when we get picked apart.